Okay, hey guys, welcome to Clix Corner. Today I'm doing the first installment of a new series I was thinking about doing. I've come up with a lot of ideas for things like that recently, but this one is a re-examining of figures that have never been thought that were ever going to achieve anything, and I'm sort of looking at them and thinking, could this be meta? Now, more specifically, I'm saying, could this be used in a constructed team? I'm not thinking anything I'm going to come across is going to be worth taking to a regionals or a nationals, but on a weekly OP kit, maybe it's worth using. Only one way to find out, I suppose. However, I thought it would be a lot easier to just say, could this be meta, than saying, could this be used once on a constructed team? That's a lot more of a clunky phrase now, isn't it? And we're definitely not going to find anything that's going to be in the top tier of meta, because I figure anything that should be there is there, and there's definitely nothing out there that is that much overshadowed. But in saying that, we're going to go and crack straight into the first figure under the scope, which is Malice. Now, this is a figure from the Uncanny X-Men set, which I recently bought on Blue Rat Games just to put my basket over to free shipping. And the first thing that always draws me in when I look at its style is these 2 clicks of Impervious. So Malice is a 75-point figure with 2 clicks of Impervious and 3 clicks of Toughness. Yeah, she's only got 5 clicks in her, but she's going to take some teching down. And to do so, your opponent is going to have, you know, a bit of a chore in his hands, or her hands. And quite frankly, the way you're going to play her is you're going to throw her at your opponent, and you're going to wait and just keep scrapping with her until she dies. Because when Malice is killed, you may equip her to another friendly character. Effect, character can use Perplex and Shape Change. Now there's an errata on that, but I don't know what the original text said because I don't have the card quite yet. But basically this is a 75-point figure, which, fair enough, has a entity adjacent effect, which is, you know, definitely not as good as just putting an entity on your team. But you do get a figure out of it as well for most of the game, and then the Shape Change with Perplex is just a bit of a bonus. I mean, I definitely don't think for 75 points, I don't think Malice is ever going to end up on a team unless you need it to fill out keywords. But it's easy to do that, and we'll get into that a bit later on. So, what does she do? At the beginning of your turn, roll a d6, and until your next turn, on 3 to 4 she can use Force Blast, and on 5 to 6 she can use TK. So she's got a weird kind of thing going on there. She could help with a bit of Alpha Strike maybe, you never know. The 1 to 2 not having anything is a bit of a shame, but and Force Blast is probably not going to be getting used very much on a character with charge and 3 damage and an 11 attack. But she does also have 6 range, which is something to keep in mind. And her other power, her damage power, is Perplex and Shape Change, so that's pretty good. So she's got Shape Change and Impervious, and the point of her is to throw her at your opponent and use her maybe as a shield, or maybe even Mastermind fodder, I suppose, if you really want to. Just to get her onto this entity-like effect here. Now, you know, she's definitely not an unbelievable figure, but like I said, with keywords, you know, you could use it to fill out a team, I suppose, certainly. And I definitely don't think she's bad. She's only 75 points. She's a pretty good piece for masterminding and so on and so forth. The one downside, obviously, is the fact that you can't actually play her as an entity. Like, if she was just a limited entity, it literally just gave you Perplex and Shape Change permanently, but still cost 25 points, that would be brilliant. And people would be all over this. People would know what this figure is. Even if it does have such a limited effect, and even if there are Eclipso and Brainiac out there. I mean, you say Brainiac's out there, but who's ever really seen one? So, as I say, the thing you're going to use her for, really, is filling out keywords. So let's take a look at what keywords she's got. She's got Marauders, which, you know, there's a fair few options here. There's Mystique, which is one of the most, one of the biggest letdowns in the metagame in a good couple of years, I'd say. People were very hyped about her. And then there's good figures like Blockbuster and Harpoon and stuff that are just cheap as hell. I think I was going to say balls there, and I've stopped myself, and I don't really know why, because now I've said it anyway. But, yeah, anyway. John Greycrow and so on and so forth. Like, you can make a good team out of this. Probably. I think the Mr. Sinister is a bit of a letdown, but I don't know, maybe you could make it work somehow. Our next keyword is well, we'll talk about X-Men next, because there's obviously loads of options with X-Men. And, you know, there's a lot of things you can do with X-Men. There's a lot of different teams you can come up with. This is the keyword that I'm going to use her on first when I use her in a constructed tournament. And, you know, you've got lots of options for her. I mean, this Prime Sunfire could do with a bit of shape change, I suppose. Well, anyone could do with a bit of shape change in Perplex. And I'm sure there's a Professor X here somewhere that has Mastermind, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to click on it and lose the dial, but probably in there somewhere, isn't he? So, all in all, for 75 points, I definitely don't think Malice is a bad figure. And 75 points is a lot, but you can use it to fill out some of these teams. And you can come up with there's a Savage Land team you can use. There's Devil Dinosaur, which is always worth using. Get a bit of shape change and Perplex on him. That's going to be very helpful. Especially if you want to keep these 3 bystander spawning Clix a bit longer and you want a bit of shape change on there, and then just to keep him alive when he becomes an actual dinosaur. So you can use Devil Dinosaur, Malice, and 2 Vertigos. Or you can use Plunderer, which I really don't see the point in. I mean, he's not a bad figure. He's definitely worth playing at home, but I don't think he's bringing anything to a constructed team that can't be, like, that is going to make enough of a difference for him to be worth using. And you can also use Man Spider, but I don't have Man Spider. Man Spider is really good, but, you know, it's whether you want to use, well, Man Spider and Devil Dinosaur and Malice would be a 275 point team, so if you get a 25 point figure on there somewhere, then, you know, he's sorted. And this is a team I'm going to use her on. So this is an X-Men theme team. So it stars Cable, because I genuinely think this Cable is one of the best figures that's came out recently, even if it is a common. I think it's so malleable and so useful that it could find itself on any X-Men team you ever use. And, you know, that's not his own keyword, he's got a fucking whole bunch of them. So it's Cable and Knobbed Mace, which was basically a throw-on, you know, it's fill a point value. I didn't really have anything else to put on there, so I thought I'd give it to Cable. Then we've got Malice, and I thought it was worth giving her weapon drop as well, because since she is a close combat figure, in theory, because you're just throwing her at your opponent. But because she has the 6 range, she is going to get use out of these Psychic Blasts and Range Combat Expert, even though she does have it for a bit. And the Pulse Wave is always going to be good. I mean, the last thing your opponent wants when they're swarming this impervious shape change piece here that is intending to die is for it to just Pulse Wave them in the face. And that's really going to turn some heads, I'm sure. The next thing I've put on the team is Cannonball. Now, there is literally no reason for this. I just want to get him used. I just want to try him out on a constructed team. And so I shot him on there. This could be literally anything you want. And the same goes for Staff. Again, it was available to me, so I thought I'd chuck it on. I thought I'd chuck it on Cannonball. Might help him out a bit, because I had the points left over. So why not? And I'm really taking ID cards out of teams now. And finally, we just got Henry to fill in the points. You know, you could use 3 ID cards or whatever instead, but Henry's pretty good. He puts Cable up to a 5 damage, which is pretty supreme, or he puts Malice up to a 4. It's probably going to be pretty difficult for him to help Cannonball in any way, because he's running off in his own directions and stuff, but, you know, Henry can only do his very best. So, in summary, can Malice be used on a constructed team? Definitely. I would say definitely. I would use this. I intend to use this. And she's really cheap as well, because no one knows who she is. You know, like I said, I paid £5 for mine. It's just super rare. And, you know, I'll get use out of this at home as well. There's no doubt in that at all. And, you know, she's got a lot of places where she can fit in. I don't think she's ever going to end up on a constructed team that doesn't share a keyword, because she's just not bringing enough to the table for that, I think. I mean, like, for her points, you could have a Bizarro Green Arrow instead of the whole Mastermindy thing that we mentioned earlier, and an Entity, which makes this moot. But if you need it for an X-Men team or something like that, I think she's a really good pick. Okay, thank you for watching. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around after this video. I just wanted to talk to you about different ways you can connect with me and connect with the Clix Corner channel. You can check Clix Corner out on Instagram at Clix Corner, and you can check out my featured channels for other things I'm doing. Sinister Ginge is my channel for general jackass nonsense, people throwing things at each other, that kind of stuff. Card Corner is my most relevant channel to this, which is where I do all of my card game based videos. We Have a Technical is a podcast channel I'm going to set up soon. It does need a name change, but it is basically going to be a music themed channel. It's mostly going to be interviews on local bands, building up their profile and so on and so forth. I think it'll be a bit of a laugh. And finally we have the archive feed, which is my Let's Plays and gaming channel. There are a few compilation videos on there already, but more or less it is just Xbox One compilation clips so far, but I hope to get some content on there soon. You can check out my actual channel if you haven't already, and just drop a subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. We do opening videos, we do vlog videos, we do a few set discussions, and we do a lot of videos where we talk about where we give advice to rookies and general ranting videos. So thank you for sticking around, and thanks for watching this video. I've been Clix Corner again. Goodbye.